What is up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you another video to my classic PPV review series. Today, I'll be reviewing TNA Bound For Glory 2005. For next Sunday's classic PPV review, tell me, which Bound For Glory do you want me to review? I've already reviewed 2011 through 2013 on this channel, but if you want redo versions of those videos, I can do so, but just giving you a fair warning, I would probably want to review of Bound For Glory I haven't reviewed already. But if you guys ask for the redo versions, you can do so. So down below, which Bound For Glory do you want me to review next Sunday on the classic PPV review series? Anyways, let's get started talking about Bound For Glory 2005, TNA's Wrestlemania. This was their biggest show of the year. This was right after when they got onto Spike TV. So like literally, once they hit Spike TV, Bound For Glory was that Sunday. They didn't really have much time to promote for Bound For Glory once they got on TV. They only did a little bit of promotion. You know, they had like AJ Styles take on Christopher Daniels after Daniels was doing a gauntlet match with all these X Division jobbers. You had it where Jeff Hardy and Rhino had a match. Like, you know, their first episode of Impact wasn't really a good way to tell you, like, hey, we have a pay-per-view this Sunday. So yeah, they didn't really do a good job promoting this event, but they wanted people to know that this was their WrestleMania. And I remember ordering this event, and I liked the event when I first watched it. I liked it when I would watch it again on DVD. But I don't know if this event really stands the test of time, and if anything, it depresses me more than gets me excited for Bound For Glory in the future. Like, oh God, man, like watching this show again, it just depresses me of some of the good shit TNA used to be. You know, some of the people think TNA is good now. Like, holy crap. Please, do your history, people. Like, holy shit. TNA wishes they were as good as they were in 2005, and this show right here, you know, I don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think TNA hit it with a home run, but let's just get into the review so I can talk about, you know, some of my positives and negatives of Bound For Glory 2005. Now, Bound For Glory 2005, if you have the DVD, they show you the pre-show. They had a random tag match that wasn't really important. The only main thing on the pre-show is that we found out that Kevin Nash could not wrestle Jeff Jarrett for the NWA Championship. Yeah, Kevin Nash and Jeff Jarrett was supposed to be the main event for this pay-per-view, along with Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy, being the special guest referee. Like, holy fucking shit. But Kevin Nash couldn't attend, so Larry Zbyszko, the general manager at the time, had to make a decision of what he was going to do for the main event. Out comes Raven, who got screwed out of the NWA Championship at a house show in Canada. That's where Planet Jarrett was formed and all that crap. And so pretty much, you know, Raven demanded a rematch for the NWA Championship. Zbyszko said, no, have fun riding like Space Mountain or something like that. He said, go have fun riding Jurassic Park. He was talking about Universal Studios because they were filming at Universal Studios at the time. Raven said no. Zbyszko kicked Raven out. And Zbyszko announced later in the night that they were going to have a battle royale to decide who would face Jeff Jarrett in the main event of Bound For Glory. Oh, God, that's not really a good way to kick off your biggest show of the year. One of your main event matches off the card. Like, But we kicked off the actual pay-per-view with Samoa Joe taking on Jushin Liger. And if you see the entrances for this, oh my God, you would say this is how you kick off your biggest pay-per-view of the year. You have, you know, the Samoan dancers with Samoa Joe as he's entering the ring. You have the streamers for Jushin Thunder Liger. You're saying to yourself, man, this is how you kick off your biggest show of the year. Make it feel special. Make it feel like a spectacle. Joe versus Liger, though, just an okay match. It definitely did not live up to the hype a lot of people were expecting out of this match. It was just a solid to okay match. Not the best way to open the show, in my opinion. I definitely would have put this match probably somewhere in the middle of the card, especially Samoa Joe, who was the undefeated Samoan submission machine at the time. You would think you would want to feature him more in the middle of the show. That's just me, but Samoa Joe ends up getting the win. Right guy goes over in a solid okay match. Now, the next three matches, I'm being dead serious here. Bound For Glory has a lot of downtime in this pay-per-view, which means a lot of the stuff is very skippable. And these next three matches are very fucking skippable. You have the Diamonds in the Rough taking on Apollo, Sonny Siaki, and Shark Boy. What? What random team is this? They were trying to get the Diamonds in the Rough over because they were having it where Simon Diamond was feuding with White Sox player AJ Przinsky at the time. Yeah, who cares? Diamonds in the Rough wins. They did nothing with him and AJ Brzezinski afterwards. Pretty stupid if you ask me. You have Monty Brown take on Lance Hoyt. These are actually two guys that I liked back then in TNA. I actually liked these two superstars, and it was pretty cool seeing them wrestle, but the match was just okay, and it was just kind of random why Monty Brown wanted to face Lance Hoyt. Like, they had a video package of why, but I don't remember most of it, which is pretty rare for me, because I remember a lot of events when I see them in wrestling. I just did not remember why Monty Brown wanted to beat Lance Hoyt so bad. And really, to be honest, like, you know, you have Monty Brown here, who is just a freak athlete, who is charismatic, who is fun to watch, and you can't find him anything better to do on the show. You couldn't enter him in the main event. And then, hell, you look at Lance Hoyt. Here was a 7-foot guy, minus the tramp stamp, looked like a fucking badass. You couldn't find anything to do with him on this card better than this? I didn't feel like anyone won here. I feel like these are two guys that you shouldn't have had a match with each other, because you're trying to build both of them up to be big-time players. Yeah, you have to meet somewhere down the line, but why now? And you didn't even build it up to where you want to see this occasion happen. It was just Monty Brown wants to beat up Lance Hoyt for whatever the fuck reason. And he does, and he wins. And then you have Team Canada taking on the 3 Live Crew. This had some storyline going into it, but you didn't really care about it. And at the time, they were trying to tease the 3LK breakup. That's what the main point of this match was, to tease more of that 3LK breakup later down the road, which was good because it brought in the Latin American Exchange, which is arguably one of TNA's best tag teams, so I'm fine with it. But honestly, like, you couldn't find anything better for Team Canada to do on the show? I'm just saying, I mean, Team Canada was a hot angle for you, TNA. You couldn't have them go against anyone else? They were, like, lumped into Planet Jarrett. They're like the jobbers of Planet Jarrett at the time. So, yeah, that was pretty much it. But then, thankfully, Bound for Glory picks up. It picks up to be a pretty damn good show near the end, minus the main event crap, which I will talk about later on. But it does pick up as we get a triple threat Ultimate X match with Chris Sabin, Maverick Matt Bentley, and Canadian Muscle, Petey Williams. Otherwise just known at the time, the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams. This is a really good Ultimate X match, and this is a fun Ultimate X match. What I hate about today's Ultimate X matches are that, like, everyone goes to the cables right away, and they use the cables way too much. What I like about in these old school Ultimate X matches is, like, the superstars would actually beat down each other until they start to climb the cables. They wouldn't use the cables for their main spots, if you get what I'm saying. Like, they would do their own moves outside of using the cables, make sure they wouldn't touch the structure way too much. They would do their own spots, and then later in the match, they would use the cable to help their higher end spots. Like, nowadays, it's just like they have to use the cables for all their high spots and their awesome spots that will get the fans going. You know, back then, they could have just used regular moves to set up these big spots before even using the cable spot, if you get what I'm saying. But this match had an interesting ending to it. I don't know if this was planned. I don't know if TNA thought this would be a great idea to add heel heat to Petey Williams, because if they did, bravo TNA, but it looked like a mistake to me. Petey Williams, after Maverick Matt Bentley and Chris Sabin fall off the Ultimate X structure, they fall off the structure after battling for, you know, the X itself. Petey Williams is just standing underneath the X. The X is wobbling from the cables, and it falls right into Petey Williams' hands. And even, you could tell it could be botched, because even Petey Williams is like, oh shit, yeah. He's even happy, and the fans are saying, restart the match, restart the match. I don't know if they were having troubles filming this at the time, or, you know, setting up the Ultimate X structure at the time, to the point why the X was so wobbly and falling off, because they even had this match happen again on an episode of Impact, which you can watch on the Bound for Glory 2005 DVD if you had it. They even had this match again, and the X fell off again, and Petey Williams tried to grab it, but the referee's like, no, 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 we're going to hang it back up. So, really, to be honest, I don't know if this was a planned ending or not. I don't think it was, because why would you retape a match and redo it again? So, on a future episode of Impact, so yeah. But it was a good match nonetheless, and the right guy goes over because Petey Williams was a heel, and you needed someone to face off against your babyface X Division champion at the time. Up next was a nice little feud between Air America's Most Wanted and the Naturals, Chase Stevens and Andy Douglas, I believe his name was. Andy Douglas? I always want to say Dalton, just because of the quarterback from Cincinnati, but Andy Douglas. They had a really good storyline with the whole glass bottle by James Storm blinding one of the Naturals' eyes, and the Naturals weren't going to stop. Even if it was 1-on-2, even if Chase Stevens was by himself, he was going to beat America's Most Wanted for the tag team titles. At the time, this is when America's Most Wanted turned heel. They joined Planet Jarrett. You wanted to solidify them more as heels, so James Storm was perfect with the whole glass bottle routine that they were doing. Very solid tag team match between these two teams. It worked with the story that they were going, and America's Most Wanted retained, which was the right decision here because you wanted to save AMW for their big match with Team 3D later down the road, which they did. TNA, thankfully, they did something right there with AMW and Team 3D. So really, to be honest, when it comes down to it, it was a right decision for AMW to win, to retain the tag team championships, even though you could have made the argument at the time the Naturals were a much more younger and fresher and better team than AMW, and you could have gotten a nice little run as them as TNA tag team champions. It was the right decision at the time to have AMW retain the way they did in a heelish way because they were the team that took out Team 3D a couple weeks ago on Impact. So, right decision going on over there. God, I love talking about the next match. The Monsters Ball match. Now, for all you motherfuckers that think today's Monster Balls are good, nah. Go back and understand why people used to call this the Monsters Ball. TNA used to do this shit so great. Throughout the night, you have it where you have the people locked up in their chambers. Because before, this was the concept of the Monsters Ball match. That the superstars would be locked up in chambers 24 hours before the match. Now, obviously, this is kayfabe. They wouldn't do that in real life. But in kayfabe-wise, they would lock up the superstars in complete darkness for 24 hours. So that way, they are more savage. They wouldn't feed them and all that other crap. It was just a way to make you feel like, man, these guys, when they get out of these chambers, they're going to be unleashed. We're going to see the unhuman side of these fucking superstars. And you had 4 guys that just clicked very well, that worked very well with this Monsters Ball concept. You had Jeff Hardy, you had Sabu, you had Rhino, and you had the Monster Abyss. Not the fucking Abyss we see now that, like, loves Janice. No, the legit Monster Abyss with the Chain and James fucking Mitchell. That is Abyss to me. If you think Abyss today is good, no. This Abyss was the man. This Abyss was a guy that deserved to be NWA champion more times than he was. This is a guy that TNA messed up on so many times. He's literally like TNA's version of Kane. You know, TNA had so much going for Abyss. Great worker, great guy for his size, great monster character that they just dropped the ball on so many times. But when it comes down to it, this was how you set up a Monsters Balls match. Nowadays, it's so diluted, the concept of the Monsters Ball. It really is. The Monsters Ball concept has become diluted over time because now it's just a regular hardcore match. There's no reason why to call it a Monsters Ball match because before they used to have a backstory why it's called a Monsters Ball. They had it where the superstars were locked up in chambers. They didn't eat and all that other crap. There's no daylight. Come on, man. This was a great idea at the time for TNA. This was their only second Monsters Ball. This was Monsters Ball 2. Monsters Ball 1 happened at Victory Road 04. I believe it included Raven, Monty Brown, and Abyss. Don't quote me on that one with Raven because I totally forgot who the third man was. But I know it was a triple threat, and Monty Brown won it. That's the only reason why I remember that match so well. He pounced Abyss through that fucking table. Anyways, talking about this match right here. Bunch of crazy spots. Sabu, to me, was the MVP in this match. Jeff Hardy had that 6th spot that, you know, back in the early days of TNA, they would overshow that spot where Jeff Hardy did the swanton from the off to the stage onto Abyss on the tables. You know, was there a lot of no-selling in this match? Oh, hell yeah, there was a lot of no-selling in this match. But it worked because they were trying to show how savage these people have became since they were locked up in that door, in the chambers for 24 hours with no food, no water, no sunlight, no anything. They were savage monsters, and they just wanted to destroy each other. And in the end, you have Rhino go over. Rhino. Why? Not Abyss, who I thought would have made perfect sense to go over here. Not Jeff Hardy, who you would think would also make sense to go over here just because he's such a huge fan favorite. Sabu was out of the question for me. Like, no, why would you want to put Sabu in this situation? But why Rhino? Seriously, Rhino. And if you guys thought you were done seeing Rhino after this, oh no, you'll see more fucking Rhino at the end of the night. But let's talk about a good match before we get into the cluster that was the main event of Bound For Glory 05. AJ Styles taking on Christopher Daniels in an Iron Man match. One of the best matches, if not the best match, in the AJ and Daniels series, at least when it comes down to the TNA. And no, I'm not including their triple threat matches with Joe. I'm just saying these two individuals, one-on-one themselves, one of their best fucking matches. Go watch it. the blood that AJ was spewing, the blood Daniels was spewing, the feud at the time where Daniels, he was the longest reigning TNA X Division champion, but then lost it to AJ Styles at the Unbreakable 2005 event. This led to Daniels to go crazy and insane, wanting to prove he was the best X Division superstar, beating other X Division superstars along the way to get this rematch with AJ Styles to show that he was better than AJ Styles and he would go at any lengths to beat AJ Styles. And he said, you know what, AJ? This is how we're going to settle it. An Iron Man match, because I'm that better than you. I can survive 30 minutes against you. You can't survive 5 minutes against me. And you had it where Styles and Daniels battle out in this great war between these two men. This was an awesome match. Definitely team match of the night for Bound for Glory 05. It's kind of surprising. If you look at Bound for Glory history, AJ and Daniels, they have a lot of matches of the nights when it comes down to Bound for Glory. It's true. And we talk about 06, or no, Slammiversary, my bad. I'm getting my pay-per-views mixed up for TNA. But they've had a lot of matches of the nights when it comes down to TNA history in general. But this is by far the best match in their series, you know, of their rivalry that's expanded on for fucking ever. This is one of their best matches, and I absolutely love this match. This is one of my favorite matches of the night. So then we get on to a sour point of Bound for Glory 05. The main event, which I stated would be a battle royale to see who would face Jeff fucking Jarrett for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And oh my god. You could have not have Abyss win this one. You had Jeff Hardy in there. You had Monty Brown. You know, for whatever reason, Billy Gunn was in this match. AJ Styles, he came out at number 10. Hell, you even had Samoa Joe. You could have had anyone else win this fucking match. But you give it to Rhino. And I emphasize why. Why give it to Rhino? Like, I never understood what TNA's fascination was with fucking Rhino. Once he came to TNA in 05, they were starting to push this guy to a moon. I mean, Rhino at the time was like Jeff Jarrett's like little bitch. And then after losing to Raven at like, I think it was Unbreakable where he lost to Raven in the dog collar match, Rhino was just kind of being nothing. He was literally doing nothing except goring whoever the fuck he wanted to gore just because he was angry all the time. But why give this opportunity to Rhino? And not only that, you have this match with Jeff Jarrett, and literally Jarrett does everything in this damn match. He does everything in the match with freaking Rhino. You had it where Tito Ortiz had to like separate him a bunch of times to make sure he wasn't beating down Rhino too damn hard. But even that, Tito Ortiz did a terrible job refereeing. He was distracted throughout the whole match. Not only that, he missed one of his cues. Like, he turned around right at when Jeff Jarrett hit the guitar right on Rhino. So that should have been an automatic DQ for Jeff Jarrett right there. Like, you know, Rhino should have won the title because the NWA title, if you got DQ'd, you were supposed to change the belt hands. Pretty much right then and there, Jeff Jarrett should have gotten DQ'd, but Tito Ortiz didn't call it. And Rhino's kicking out of all these moves. The guy who went through a Monsters Ball match, the guy who went through a Battle Royale, is kicking out of all these damn moves by Jeff Jarrett. Rhino did the Daniel Bryan before Daniel Bryan did the Daniel Bryan, if you get what I'm saying. Rhino survived all the fucking obstacles to become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion because all it took was one fucking gore, and Rhino became the NWA Champion. And I ask, why? Why did you give the belt to Rhino? Especially since you're not going to do shit with him as champion, because literally the next TV tapings, I'm king of the mountain, baby. Jeff Jarrett buries Rhino and wins the belt back. Oh, God. Some stupid TNA booking. See, the thing with TNA is that when you watch some of their older pay-per-views, and a lot of you TNA fans will agree with me on this, they'll have some good stuff in the opening, in the middle of the shows. Then you get to that main event, and it either pisses you off, or you're saying, holy crap, I'm surprised TNA didn't do anything stupid in this main event. Like, seriously, this is stupid TNA booking. This is booking why people don't watch your product, TNA. Overbook the crap out of this shit, man. And then afterwards, you have it where Rhino can't even celebrate. Jeff Jarrett and his goons have to beat up Rhino. And then all of a sudden, there's like 8 people in for Planet Jarrett. You have Team Canada, you have AMW, you have pretty much all of Planet Jarrett there. For some reason, the Abyss is out there too. And all of a sudden we hear, watch out, watch out, watch out, who the bombshell? Fucking Team 3D comes out, and I'm like, oh my God. So Rhino can't even celebrate this moment by himself. He needs Team 3D to come out here to help him out. Ugh. Just dumb TNA stuff, man. Literally, just dumb TNA stuff. So Team 3D helps out Rhino. Rhino gets the belt. He celebrates with it, and he enjoyed his 2 days as NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World. Bound for Glory 05 is a solid show. I wouldn't say it was a home run for TNA when it comes down to their biggest show of the year, but definitely is a solid show that I would suggest for you guys to check out. Just because I feel like even though it wasn't the best show, it's still the first show of their biggest show of the year. They did do some good stuff here. There's a lot of matches that are worth watching. Some of you guys actually may enjoy some of the undercard matches that I didn't like Monty Brown and Lance Hoyt. I can see some people liking that. Or maybe that 6-man tag match I talked about with Team Canada and the 3-Live Crew. Some of you guys may enjoy a little bit, some of the matches a little bit more than I did on this show. But this is definitely a show you should just check out. But I wouldn't say go out of your way to see it. Like, if you're bored one weekend, definitely pop into Bound for Glory 05 via the DVD or find it online somewhere. So, yeah. But it's definitely a solid show for sure. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all next time for my Bound for Glory review for next Sunday. Don't forget, I got other videos that I'm going to do this week on the Chase Oliver channel. If you guys like me, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a big old thumbs up. And check out all my other stuff like my Twitter at ChaseOliver68 and my website, chillinwithchase.com. I'll see you all next time. Peace.